morning and welcome to Whilton Mill for this, the second day of qualifiers at BUKC 2019. We are here on the grid, ready and waiting for race number one. Our second place man, Piers Pryor, is just waving to the camera. We're going to have a chat with him very shortly, but first, let's go straight in with the grid interviews with our pole sitter over here. And I've actually forgotten who this is. It's James Mills, of course. James, a bit of trouble proving that you were a student this morning.
Yeah.
Are you lying? Have you been lying to me?
I might have been.
You might have been lying that you're a student.
I might have been lying, not a student.
Are you a student or not?
Yes.
You better be, otherwise I'll disqualify you at the end. Pole position, you've beaten Piers to pole position, and you're the B team driver. Has he done his captaincy all wrong and picturing the wrong team?
Definitely, yeah. Hopefully try and prove that I can be in the A again, so yeah, that's what I'm going for this weekend.
If you beat him, does that mean you should, in theory, be replacing him for round one at Buckmore?
I don't know. Piers is one of our top drivers, so got respect for him.
Can you beat him though here today?
I hope so, yeah.
Good man. I'll go see what he has to say about that. In fact, I'll bring him over here. Piers, slot in the middle so I can pass the camera easier, or stand by there, either one. Why is James beating you? What if you put him in the B team and then had him show you up by beating you?
Mate, I've just been slacking, you know. I've just been eating all the pies, just not really up for it, you know.
What flavour pies would you go for if you had to pick? Like, if you had a pie right now, what would you want?
Probably a chicken and ham, I'd say. Nice chicken and ham pie, like a bit of short crust pastry, you know.
See, I'm more of a steak and ale man myself.
But no, to be fair, I think it's been good. Obviously, James was rapid. The qualifying was all over the place. Obviously, it being damp and people spinning everywhere, so it's pretty much just trying to get a good lap in. Obviously, James got a really good lap in. He got pole by like a second, I think. So fair play. Hopefully, we can just work together in this one and get away, and then hopefully that will be. We'll have a lap of one too. Things never go to plan, do they?
It would be a good start. You're wearing the number plate 4 plate on your kart.
Yeah.
Obviously, 2017 champions. Can we get back up on the top step this year?
Well, if we don't get beaten by the B team, then yeah. Yeah. But no, it should be a good year. We're looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll be a good race. Start now, obviously, first round of the season. We've all been waiting over the summer, the 6-7 months it's been, and really looking forward to a good race.
Brilliant. Sure, we'll be seeing plenty more of Loughborough later on today. That's James Mills, the pole sitter, and Piers Pryor. Let's have a chat with the Brooks boys. Step over here. I'm not coming to you, Piers. Piers, fantastic year last year for Oxford Brooks, yourself racing in the B team. Can we see a repeat performance in BUKC 2019?
Yeah, hopefully. I'd like to go one better and hopefully demote our A team a little bit, because mainly just to piss them off, I think, really. That would be the nice thing to do. But yeah, no, it's going to be a good year, I think. It's very competitive, though. Like, I think even more so than last year, and last year was close. So it's going to be a good year, I think, for everyone to watch, and also for us in racing as well.
What I'm most looking forward to in this race is Andrew and Howard getting confused between yourself and the peers in front of you. Obviously, that's Piers Pryor, you're Piers Pakenham Walsh, but a lot of the time they refer to you both by your quite distinctive first names. Have you ever been confused for Mr. Pryor before?
I have. There's a lot of people that meet us and think we're the other person a lot. I get that a lot, to be fair.
Would you say it's a compliment or an insult?
I think that's for people to decide, really. I don't really want to make that judgment.
All right, then. And can you beat him in this race?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. We've got to wait and see, I suppose.
We had a very confident yes from in behind from Mr. Bleakley as well. What makes you so sure, Joe?
Because look at him. He's amazing.
He's amazing. That's the word on the street from Mr. Joe Bleakley. We're going to push further down the grid. Thanks for chatting to us, guys. We will talk to several of these teams later on as they are on pole position. We've got Kyle Morby here. Is that Kyle? Kyle Morby, BUKC Driver of the Year 2018. What position do you call this?
I just wanted to let other people have a chance. Yeah, I had a bit of a nightmare, as you can see. I'm not going to say why, because you won't be very happy.
What did you do?
I can't tell you on live stream.
He was missing Jack Ransom.
He was missing Jack Ransom.
Take that as you will.
We're going to move on.
Oh, bye.
This done. This interview's over. Let's see who we've got further down the grid. I need to interview the famous Joe Perkins Racing. Joe, let me get in this way. What makes you so famous?
Thank you. My YouTube channel, a whole 41 subscribers.
41?
41, yeah.
41. How many of those are family members?
How many of those family members? Only 2. Wow. I know.
So 39 legit followers?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
What kind of uploads do you do? Is it just on boards, or do you do any sim racing?
No, it's all the onboards, all the BUKC. I lost some of my footage from last year, but it's going well, yeah.
Let's hope for a bit more footage now, Joe. Thanks for chatting to us. So, we have for you today 6 20-minute races, followed by 6 20-minute races. Each driver per team, there's 4 per team, gets 2 of those 20-minute sprint races. The first 6 runs through, and then every driver comes back out for the next 6. I'm going to get run over here. Callum, what happened? Callum there of Cardiff B, failing to get off the grid. Let me introduce you to our commentary team for the day. They are Double Dash Motorsports Media, and they are the wonderfully well-spoken Andrew Mather and Howard Mitchell. Lads, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, I'm quite loud there. Yes, we are your Double Dash Motorsport Media commentary team. Welcome back to the comms box for what is our final day of the 2018 calendar year.
Yes,
what a year it's been.
It's actually end of several eras, because the final day we'll see these direct drive clutches carts, and it's the final day we will be in this comms box.
Yes.
Before the new clubhouse opens. So yeah, it's a day of last, but for a lot of teams, of course, this is where their season starts. Please tell me we go around again, else this is going to be a very quick grid. Okay, so let's take you through your grid for race number 1. It's an all Loughborough front row for race 1. James Mills starts on pole for Loughborough B, and Piers Pryor starts second for Loughborough A. Row 2 is Sheffield A's Aidan Charity, and Piers Pakenham Walsh for Oxford Brooks B. On row 3 we find Oxford Brooks C with Matthew Taylor at the wheel, and Warwick A getting their season started with Sam Cobb at the wheel, experienced driver for them. Row 4 sees Rihanna Percox take the Birmingham A kart from 7th, and Sam Faulkner start 8th for Oxford A. Row 5 is Swansea D with Ryan Edwards at the wheel, and Carl Morby at the wheel of the Oxford A kart in 10th. Row 6 is UCL B. They are not eligible for points in this race, but they are very welcome along for the ride. Warwick C start 12th with Joe Perkins at the wheel. Loughborough D have Matthias Reed-Simpson at the wheel, and Nottingham Trent A start 14th with Aaron Pretty for them. Row 8 is Lucas Sullivan for Brooks D, and Matthew Hurst for Leeds C. Row 9 is Jack Kingsley Smith for King's College A, and George Poulter for Sheffield B. Row 10 is Alexis Pirali for Newcastle B, and Ollie Underwood for Newcastle A. And I'm looking, are we good for a start? We are indeed. So we'll talk about the rest as we go through. I'm afraid, folks, it's going to be an all Loughborough front row, as I say. Loughborough B ahead of Loughborough A. Away we go. And Piers Pryor already stakes his claim to first place there. Tries and gets around the outside of 1, and he's got the job done. Are they all through the crook cleanly? I'm delighted to say they are, but now they head up to the first braking zone of the day at Christmas Corner. Slightly kinder conditions here for the first race than we had yesterday for the first batch of qualifiers. We've got a dry line formed already, so it's not nearly as greasy, and I'm delighted to say they've all managed to keep it together. Through the Zulus they weave for the first time and onto the back straight, but it's Piers Pakenham Walsh who's got himself to the front ahead of, Piers Pryor. I knew I'd do it, ahead of Piers Pakenham Walsh. There you go, it's a Piers 1-2.
Absolutely, really good start for Loughborough A, looking to regain their title after losing it last year. End of lap 1 then. Piers Pryor leads for Loughborough A once again here at Whilton Mill. Oxford Brooks B is second, Loughborough B are third. The revival, which I think is going to come today, of Oxford A, they're in fourth. Then it's Sheffield A, Brooks C, Warwick A, Birmingham A, and UCL B ineligible in this race, wrapping out the top 10.
Absolutely. Slightly shorter races this year in the qualifiers. Rather than having 10 races of 25 minutes in length, we have 12 races of 20 minutes in length. Changed, of course, to reflect the fact we have more teams than ever going through the qualifiers this year. Partially because it's great to see how many universities are supporting the championship this year, but also because of the new rules introduced regarding the fact that all teams who take part in both tiers of the BUKC, what was previously known as the mains and the rookies, and will now be known for this season onwards as the mains and the intermediate championships, they all have to be here at qualifiers. You used to be able to turn up to that second tier of the the series, having not necessarily turned up to qualifiers. But they're all here on this occasion, and that means points are awarded in both tiers of the BUKC.
Absolutely. Pakenham Walsh looking slightly quicker at the moment than Piers Pryor. He's just set a very quick first sector. There's a yellow flag out at at the boot for a car that's been recovered. You just saw that flash through your screen there. Howard, if you can check who that was for me, that would be good. Yep. But still, Piers Pryor leading for Loughborough A, round to finish lap 2. Piers, Pakenham Walsh there in second place. And up to third now as well is the Oxford B driver. That's Sam Faulkner, very experienced driver indeed. Very, very good in this kind of machinery. Good to see him here in the BUKC. Good start for Faulkner up to third.
Swansea C have had an incident out there. They've just had a very slow lap. Don't think that was the one in the boot though, so I'll double check as they come round. I can't believe it, mate. They told us exactly not to trip over the fact there are two Piers on the grid, and then I did it lap 1. Anyway, it is currently Pryor from Pakenham Walsh. Distinctive pink helmet for Piers Pryor, captaining the Loughborough team.
They have dropped James Mills as well in fourth place. There's already about a 3-second gap between this front three, so the pace already very, very quick indeed. We're in the mid-45s at the moment, and Pryor's just done a fastest lap of the race, but that's been beaten by Faulkner. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? We've got a three-way battle right at the start of this first race of the day. Loughborough, Brooksby and Oxford A, all way quicker than anybody else out there on circuit.
Just want to clarify.
And that's KCL, I think it is.
It is KCL. That looks like
Dan
Danny
Dwyer. They've got several of them looking like this year. That's
Jack
going to be,
Kingsley
yes. Kingsley Smith off at the Zulus. That's a bit of an odd position to be in as well.
Place. I've got to imagine he must have hit the second curb badly,
or what's happening here?
This is Piers Pryor. Is he trying to let someone back
Yeah,
through?
I think it was an overtake under yellow there.
Okay. So savvy driving there, kind of, sort of, as he goes around the outside. And that was a bit weird. I wouldn't actually say he let them back through, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, okay,
he offered them the opportunity.
We'll
see how that's 71, black flag, first one of the morning. That is going to be for King's College B for advantage by contact takeouts. They have to come to the pit lane now and serve a stop-go penalty and have a little chat with our Club 100 stewards.
Small bit of housekeeping, Andrew. The cart we saw stationary at the boot was Swansea C having their second spin of the race. The two Durham carts have also had an incident, and I don't think it might have been King's College spin, but I actually think it was King's College B, so I don't think it was Jack Kingsley Smith.
This is the point of the race, though, where we start to see the key moments of how you win one of these qualifiers. We'll start to see traffic now start to form in the next couple of laps, and getting through the traffic cleanly is very, very important for the faster drivers. We saw a little bit of it yesterday, we saw a lot of it last year. Drivers up towards the front being a little bit too eager to get past the back markers, and generally resulting in a bit of contact and penalties for those faster drivers. So, as I say, we've got 58 coming up ahead of the leaders now. This is a battle all over 27th position. That's Sheffield Hallam A. Remember, we saw Sheffield Hallam B yesterday. They did not qualify. Here's Sheffield Hallam A trying to get some Hallam representation in the mains next year. But Piers Pryor dealing with the traffic well now, coming up behind Leeds D. Still leading this race. Cone penalty for the number 98, which is Durham B, currently in 32nd place.
That'll be 5 seconds added onto their race time. We'll drop them however many positions back accordingly, based on where everyone finishes. If you're new to the BUKC, there are no blue flags used in this series, and it's a very open championship. There have been a racing licence system introduced this year, but there's still fairly wide pace spread across the field, which is why you do see someone else has
53, Swansea C again.
Swansea C again. The pace difference means you do see a lot of lapping going on, so if you're leading the race, if you're on pace, it's all about getting through the traffic cleanly and quickly, such that you don't lose time in it. Not a million miles away and away from some of the endurance sports cars, if you're familiar with that. Obviously, everybody's having their own race out there as well, so it's also with a view to not disrupting battles happening further down the field.
So back with our leaders, this is still Piers Pryor, very experienced driver around Whilton Mill, has been running in Senior X30 in the Whilton Mill Kart Club. You can watch the final round of the Whilton Mill Kart Club Championship as well. here on Alpha Live. So follow the Alpha Live page on Facebook. Follow Whilton Mill Kart Club as well. See that event for what should be a fantastic season finale. But meanwhile, back with the BUKC.
Fastest lap of the race, average from Sam Faulkner in the Oxford A kart.
Changes behind them as well. Rihanna Percox is up to 4th place for Birmingham A. That demotes James Mills for Loughborough B down to 5th. And then 2 Oxford Brooks karts, the A team, last year's champions, and C now 6th and 7th on the road.
Kart number 98 is stationary. That's Durham B. Tobias Lewis in the wheel of that. I think they're currently stationary on the 3rd part of the Zulu complex. Sam Faulkner, Rihanna Percox up to 4th, as you say, Andrew. Accomplished race around here also. Has won Club 100 sprint races around Whilton Mill before, so she knows her way around here very well.
Coming up on a bit of traffic now are the leaders. Pryor goes to the inside through Christmas Corner, makes the move done. Very nice, that was going past the 67 of Warwick C. Now coming up behind the Newcastle C kart, piloted by Angus Atkin. Picking through the Zulus, cutting to the inside. We're just looking further a little bit back. I know there was a very close battle there between Pakenham Walsh and Faulkner in the Brooks B kart and the Oxford kart. I just wondered, no, there's not been a change of position. He's right there with him.
Right with him, yeah.
Pakenham Walsh.
In fact, he's had a good second part of that lap.
Now the back marker's not aware. The back marker's not aware. That's a chance for Pakenham Walsh on the inside, side by side. And the back marker's still getting in the way. Oh, now it's going to be tense. Now it's going to be 3 wide, I reckon. 3 wide up to Christmas. Pakenham Walsh hits the front. Faulkner's trying to get up the inside as well. Pryor might lose 2 positions here. Pryor tries to go wide round the outside. Can't make it done. New leader, Howard. Piers, Pakenham Walsh for Brooks B. And Pryor's back on the inside of Faulkner. Faulkner's hit! And Faulkner's taken out! Faulkner's been taken out by a back marker there. He won't be happy about that at all. But what bad news for Oxford A. In the first race, they were running well, but they've been taken out by a back marker. I have to say that wasn't the best piece of driving from the back marker, and unfortunately Sam Faulkner is out of the chance of winning this race.
Yeah, gutting for Oxford A there. Obviously a lot of these, the drivers towards the back of the field still finding their feet. For some, in fact for many out there today, it's their first time racing these karts. But no, there wasn't the best judgment there. I have to say though, Pakenham Walsh had brilliant judgment there, reading the situation. Did not end up colliding with anybody in particular, just read the situation well, got a run on Piers Pryor up the hill, and now it's Pryor's to claim back. The 2 now ahead of the 4, with Faulkner, as you say, Andrew, out of the picture for Oxford A.
Yeah, it's going to demote him. Well, he's outside the top 20 now. That's he's lost about, I think about 30 seconds with that spin. Really unfortunate for Sam Faulkner. So it's now Brooks B leading from Loughborough A, who have a black flag. Well, 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 is that going to be for advantage by contact? Yes, it is. So Loughborough A have been given a black flag for the melee amongst the back markers. Now that's exactly what I was talking about, that sometimes you just have to be a little bit more patient with the drivers that are less experienced, but that's a black flag for Loughborough A. They're going to have to come to the pits, and that's going to lose them a lot of time.
Yeah, now, Andrew, it appears Pakenham Walsh is to absolutely lose for Brooks B, because he's some 11, 12 seconds up the road from Rihanna Percox, who will now, unbeknownst to her, I have to say, inherit 2nd place.
Yep.
As she's still having a battle, by the way, still quite close, is Rihanna Percox in the number 8 Birmingham A, and the number 23 Loughborough B kart with James Mills at the wheel, our pole sitter, of course, in 4th place. They're currently having a very close battle for that, so look out for the 8 and the 23 around the lap as well. But there they just flashed through shots for you, but they are now, as I say, they're unlikely to know this as they're behind what's happened to our original top 3, but they're actually now locked into battle for 2nd place in this race.
A penalty that you will see a few times today is for track limits. Now this is mainly on the last corner. Oh, massive hold there. I think that was for the 98.
That's Durham B again.
You will see the castle grid on driver's left as Rihanna Percox is trying to make her way through traffic. There's a yellow flag out there. On the last corner, the cattle grid on driver's left. If drivers run all 4 wheels the wrong side, so as you're looking at it here with Rihanna Percox going through now, that's fine. That's fine. 2 wheels on the cattle grid. 4 wheels beyond the cattle grid results in a track limit warning. You could receive 2 of those, and it's then 3 strikes and you're out. That's a penalty of 5 seconds. So watch out for that one today, because the first one has just been received by Birmingham C, number 40.
Yeah, Yana Percox working her way here through the traffic. Loughborough A have not yet pulled into the pit lane to serve their black flag. They are going to need to do that soon, lest they face some kind of wrath from the stewards of the course. It's one thing to get a black flag, it's another entirely to ignore it.
Yeah.
But Percox working through the traffic well here. I think she's managed to bridge a bit of a gap to James Mills in the Loughborough car, the number 23, which is further back in this pack of carts. And she's now actually got through this group of carts, has Rihanna, so she'll now try and work her way
And
on
Loughborough in.
Loughborough are in, so change for second place there. Piers, Packard and Walsh is now well up the road, 12 seconds to the good, with nobody to challenge him, so he's just got to bring this one home for the next 7 minutes, but we have no idea who's going to...
And he's out again.
Yep, indeed, so how far has Loughborough dropped down? They've dropped down to at least 15th. I'm going to imagine actually further than that. We'll know next time they come through to complete a lap. If you're new to the BUKC and you're tuning in to support a particular team or university, try and learn the kart numbers of the teams you're interested in. They do not change throughout the entire season, so follow them along. And
oh, Brooks C falling down the order. Somewhere out there on track, who were running up in 3rd place. They've not come through Sector 2, Howard. So Brooks C now falling out of the top 10.
Well, that was Matthew Taylor, who was right in amongst the gaggle of carts that we saw
trying to get through the traffic.
Just clearing. So, yeah, I think it looks like something's happened there. Keep an eye out for any penalties forthcoming in relation to that one. Or it could have just, of course, we have to always be open to the idea it's just an unforced error, but it was very unusual from a driver like Matthew Taylor. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us here in the box as well whilst the day's action is getting going on. We know we're going out live on Facebook on several different pages on the BUKC, on Alpha Live, and on our very own humble Double Dash Motorsport media page on Facebook. But if you leave a comment under the stream on the BUKC page, that one gets beamed directly up to us in the box, and we can show your support for teams and drivers. As what kart is that?
That's
Swansea C again.
Swansea C, it's Hannah Bowen.
So we can beam your comments onto the screen. As you may have seen whilst Jacob was doing the grid interviews, we beamed us. There's another kart that's stationary in the boot. I think that might be Durham B again as well. We projected our own comment onto the screen during the grid interviews, which was a projected score that you need to get, we think, to qualify today.
I think I just saw Cardiff B off as well. Yep, they haven't come through Sector 1, so Cardiff B, the number 86, off on the exit of what is normally flat to the square right crook corner. So they've gone flat through the square right, and unfortunately come a bit of a cropper there.
Yeah, Callum Thompson in that car currently recovering himself back to the tarmac. He'll get bump started by a pusher kart, which isn't something we're going to be saying for much longer with the new clutched engines coming in 2019. But for now, we're enjoying these TKM engine 2-stroke direct drive karts. So there'll be a pusher kart along to bump start Callum. There they are. Lovely pickup by camera. So those are the pusher karts. Last time we'll be seeing them.
You were talking about projections.
I was, yes, sorry. I tried to do a plug for your very own... Mr. Mather, my commentary colleague here, is in charge of what we call the spreadsheet of doom. And so he furiously does the maths to work out what's going on with regards to qualification.
Indeed. It'll run throughout the day. It'll get more accurate as it goes along. So at the moment, it's just got the qualifying results in there, calculating who's going to finish in the top 27. And the more critical thing that we're going to put out there at the moment is the projection of how many points a team needs to be in that top 27 that qualify for a spot in the Mains Championship. At the moment, it's sitting on 273. Now, the score you needed yesterday was 276. So somewhere in that mid-270s region is what you want. 280 and anything above, I think you'll be fine. We'll talk about it more as we go along the day, but at the moment, 273 is the number of points that you require as a team to qualify for the Mains Championship next year.
Just a quick note as well to finish off on all of the social media stuff. We are also going out live on YouTube, on the Alpha Live YouTube channel, so if you prefer to use that platform, we are going out live on there. Thank you very much for joining us. I believe as well, if you leave comments on that stream as well, it comes through to us in the box too. And finally, you can get in touch with us on Twitter using the hashtag BUKC2019, or even if you don't want to particularly get in touch with us but just want to comment on something to do with the event, the conversation is happening on that hashtag BUKC2019, even though we're still in the 2018 calendar year. This is the first round, effectively, the first event of the BUKC 2019 season, following as it does the academic year. And if you want to get directly in touch with us, we are at Double Dash MN for Double Dash Motorsport Media on Twitter. So loads of ways you can get in touch with us. Let us know if you're watching, who you're here supporting, and we'll be happy to give you a shout out, so long as it's not going crazy on the action front, which it very often does here, I won't lie.
Couple of teams actually in this very race, as I'm looking at the projections, having very important races. Leeds C currently projected to not qualify, are 6th in this one. That's a good start to their day. And Swansea D as well, currently one of those being a bit nervous based on their qualifying results. Need to get the good scores in. They've had a very nice race here at the moment, up in 9th place. It's good starts for those two teams that we know are going to be not thinking about winning this qualifier, just thinking about trying to get into that top 27.
Yeah, Brooks B need to be careful here. They've had a contact warning, and you know the gap I said was 12 seconds. It's down to 5.8 as we're coming into the last 2 minutes of this race here. So somewhere along the lines, the gap has gone down something mighty. We're still looking at Rihanna Percox in the Birmingham A car. She's actually in a bit of no man's land at the moment. She's 5.8 seconds down the road from our leader and nearly 5 seconds up the road from the 3rd place Nottingham Trent. We haven't mentioned them getting into that position, but good drive so far from Aaron Pretty in that effort. He's got himself up to 3rd. Closest battle in the top 10 at the moment is over 5th place between the 23 of Loughborough B, 36 of Leeds C and 6 of Warwick A. But we do need to keep an eye here on the leader. There he is.
Coming up behind teammates as well.
He is actually coming up behind Matthew Taylor, who dropped down the order for Oxford Brook C. He is losing time. He just lost a second on the last lap, Andrew. We'll see how much it was this time round, but the gap is going down very quickly here.
Absolutely. For Percox, she finally broke her duck of not taking a BUKC victory at this event last year. 2nd place would still be a good start to the day, though, for Birmingham. It's on the penultimate lap now, 40-odd seconds to go, so the drivers, or more specifically, Piers Pakenham Walsh himself, will cross the line with about 10 seconds to go.
Well, the gap went up that last lap, Andrew, to 5.5 seconds, so that seems to have settled somewhat. What hasn't settled is the battle for 3rd. Nottingham Trent A and Oxford Brooks A. I'm not sure if you can
chaos.
Oh, down at the boot.
Yep, I'll just try. I can't quite. Might be Cardiff B again.
So the battle between the 13 and the number 1, our reigning champions, Oxford Brooks A, is hotting up at the moment. It's over 3rd place, and it's Aaron Pretty versus Kyle Morby for that one.
Sheffield A just behind Brooks B as well. I don't know if they're aware that they are the leader. Yellow flag out for a drive. I think Pakenham Walsh is just taking this quite sensibly. He's not taking any risks now. He knows he's got the gap. We are on the final lap. Oh, let's say that as it goes back up the inside of Sheffield A.
Yeah, that's not risky. What's happened actually to Aidan Charity in this race? Did we spot what happened to him?
No, started 3rd on the grid.
That's the Sheffield A car. They've clearly not had a great one here. But either way, we're going to get our first winner of the day.
Absolutely. They nearly won the championship last year. They start this new championship with a win. Piers Pakenham Walsh takes race 1 here at Whilton Mill this morning. A very, very good start to last year's runners-up. It's going to be 2nd place for Birmingham A. A good start for them with Rihanna Percox, and Nottingham Trent A should take 3rd. No, Brooks A nick it on the line. Last year's champions at the death take 3rd place. Nottingham Trent A were 5th. Leeds C 5th. How important could that be at the end of today? 6th for Loughborough B, 7th for Warwick A, 8th were UCL B, but they were ineligible and not counting for points in this one. So the 8th place will actually go to Loughborough A. So Piers Pryor recovers into the top 10 after that black flag. Next up was Oxford A, and then Oxford Brooks D, wrapping out the top 10, Howard, that scored points in that race. Good first race.
Good first race. Sorry, I feel like we couldn't cover half of the stories going on in that one. Where did Matthew Hurst come from in the Leeds C car to finish 5th? That is a highly...
He didn't have a good qualifying. He had a bit of
true.
He had a few penalties.
Yeah, but really, really good drive that. Not disaster races either for the likes of Brooksy and Sheffield, who obviously had some kind of incident down there. They recovered to the mid-teens.
Got to give a shout out as well to De Montfort B, coming from 22nd on the grid in that one, 12th on the road, 11th once he takes UCLB out of that tally. That is a very strong start today for the drivers of the number 77.
Yeah, Johnny Knight in that car. Is this the first time we've had a De Montfort B team actually?
I think it might be.
So great debut race for that particular squad. As we look, are we ready to hand down to Jacob?
Not had the thumb up yet.
Not had the thumbs up yet.
He's got the microphone to
He's
his face.
definitely ready.
Let's do it. Let's head down to Jacob Harris on the grid, who I think has Pierce Packen and Walsh with him.
I'm always ready for you two. Always, always ready. Piers is ready as well. Piers, congratulations on winning race number 1 on this Saturday. How was it?
Yeah, it was alright to be fair. It was a nice start to the race, nice bit of close racing with Piers, and I think a couple of others that were near us at the front sort of stuck with us as well, so it was half decent. Sort of we came up on some back markers quite quickly, which obviously ended up upsetting the rhythm of the race a little bit, unfortunately for Piers getting a penalty. But no, it was alright. From there it was a bit plain sailing, just keeping my nose clean. I think I got overtaken for first place on the last lap, and I think I passed the person back, although I'm not 100% sure. I think it was someone that was near the front for it. It might have been in a back marker again. I don't know.
You did not get overtaken.
All right. Shows what I know.
Brianna was a few seconds back from you. You were all right. But yes, congratulations, and hopefully be seeing more of you later on today.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you, Piers. Mr. Packen and Walsh there, picking up race win number 1 of the day. I believe the Warwick team are just about to jump into this car. After you, Alistair. Come have a chat with us first.
Why would I want to chat with you?
Why would you want to chat with me? Because you said to me on Facebook Messenger the other day that I'm one of your best friends.
Did I?
Yes.
Is that not...
I mean, you said I've got 5 people I consider best friends, and you are number 4 in the hierarchy.
Not like one of those automated messages on Facebook that you can just send.
You can't get those on your personal accounts. You only get them on
poll, and you accidentally press it. Maybe it just came up and I accidentally pressed it. There's no like delete in Facebook.
It sounds like you're going to extreme lengths to deny this, Alistair.
I'm sorry. If things change, times go by.
All right, if I'm out of the top 5, I'm cool. I'm cool with still being in the top 10.
You can be 6th.
Yeah, top 10,
Sixth,
I'll take
that's
that.
all right.
Well, what are you doing up here, second place on the grid?
No clue whatsoever.
Yeah, can we stay up here in the race?
We can stay in the top 10. Yeah, we can stay in the top 10. Yeah.
That's aiming low, I think, Alistair. You can do it.
Top 5. We'll see. There's Brooks, and Brooks, I think. So that's going to be fun. And then Cambridge, do you know who's in Cambridge car?
Well, right now there's absolutely no one there. So my guess is as good as yours. I have read his name earlier on, but we'll have a chat with him as and when he materialises.
Awesome. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Warwick this season.
Yes.
Can we expect to see a strong showing?
Maybe. Well, it's too soon to tell. We haven't even done a race. Oh, no, Sam's done a race.
Sam's done a race, and you've got some of the same drivers from last year.
Yeah, some. We've still got Sam and Ben Street, and Sam Stevens is new, so that should be all right. Maybe, hopefully. We'll see.
We're looking forward to seeing what this mystery
A lot of uncertainties. Yeah.
Yes, quite a few. Right, I'll leave you to it. Yeah. Still no pulses, but I'm sure he's psyching himself up to edge you out in Christmas
I'd
corner.
rather be on that side, to be honest. I don't know what to do from here. I've never started second.
Do your best.
I will do my best for you.
Good man. Speak to you later. Yes, no pole sitter from Cambridge. I can see a couple of Cambridge guys over there. Is this you? It's not Alistair. Who is it? What's he doing? Tell him he's late. He's too late for an interview. We've spoken to Brooks already. We'll cover them later. Who have we got here? Team number 9.
How you doing, mate? Dylan Roach, Oxford Brooks C.
Just as I was saying, we've spoken to Oxford Brooks. There really is a lot of Brooks drivers on this grid. We haven't spoken to C team yet, though. Obviously, top 2 positions in the championship for your A's and B's last year. What can C do in 2019?
Hopefully try and make it 1, 2, 3, and with the D team 1, 2, 3, 4 if we can. I mean, it's going to be really competitive, but we've got the depth to do it, so let's try and get it done.
It's certainly ambitious as well, given that you've been randomly selected in the same races today, so you're going to be taking points off each other. Will we be able to see you working together out there?
I'd say so. I mean, if it comes to it, then yeah, but I mean, there's an element where you're all racing for yourselves, but you got to use your head and think championship, so yeah, it's just calculating it. So
you sound equal parts a team player and good racer. I'm pleased with that answer. You crack on, have a good race.